So I understood currency fairly early and that this was all
Mhm.
fake and that, Nixon pulled us off the gold standard after Roosevelt had confiscated all the gold. Like they've been trying to get us off hard money since the beginning of the country
Yep.
almost. If Hamilton could have, he probably would have abolished the gold standard back in the
Oh no,
day.
he was totally going to do it. That there's a whole point, and
Right.
that was Rothschild's backed. That
Yes.
was absolutely because that is the whole London connection back to like the old people in Europe. Hamilton was their first attempt, 100% their first attempt to instill a central bank into the new world. And that's point number 5 on Karl Marx' Communist Manifesto, by the way. A central bank that has the power to print the local currency. Point number 10, we've already covered free public education. So look at the other 8 points of the Communist Manifesto. You'll find out we live under all of them. But please carry on with how you found Bitcoin.
No, so I was working as a copywriter, and one of my friends was doing a promo on Bitcoin in 2011. And Bitcoin was trading at about 99 bucks or 199 bucks, something like that at the time. And it was funny. I was going to meet a guy in a uh, Barnes and Noble when Barnes and Noble still existed and buy 2 grand worth of Bitcoin, which would have been like 20 Bitcoin, 10 or 20, I forget. Um, and then it felt too shady, and he was going to hand me keys to something. And I was like, I kind of like this theory, but this is just too sketchy to go hand somebody 2 grand. So I don't know, what would that be worth today? 20 Bitcoin. I don't want to think about it, but um,
Or do 20 times 27,000 and you get there.
yeah, it's a decent chunk of change. But then it kind of, again, I saw the crashes too, and I was like, I don't know.
Mhm.
And I remember posting when it got to 10,000 the first time. Um, I think I said something like, "Have you guys ever heard of tulips?" And
Right.
I got cold on it real fast. Um, and then it wasn't until 2020 when it did its second big bump. I think I got when I first started buying Bitcoin, it was 7,000. So I'm doing all right on it. Um, but I don't know. I like Bitcoin. The theory is beautiful. The math is perfect. Like everything works. But it's kind of like I guess I was burned so early on with libertarianism, like watching what they did to Ron Paul. And Ron Paul, in my opinion, was the most logical, sane person ever to run for president. Um, and he just got crushed. So like this is my concern with Bitcoin is it does look like the right thing, but the right thing doesn't always win. So how much
Mhm.
faith do you have that it's going to win at the end of the day?
I am completely convicted. Yeah, that there is there's no way they, you know, and they again, they can that word, right? It puts goosebumps on people's necks. It turns people away when you talk about they. So let's just say they, in this sense, is the central bank cartel of the world, which stems all the way down from arguably who's really at the tip of the pile here. It's between the Bank of International Settlements that is based in Basel, the Bank of England, everyone knows where that is in London, and the Federal Reserve in New York. Between those three powers that jockey for positioning at all times, um, how can they kill Bitcoin? Well, they can't. They can't. It's a distributed ledger. It's a distributed network that is run by tens of thousands of nodes, which are throughout every single corner of the globe, which not every single one of them can be found and EMP attacked at the same time. And even if they did do that, it only takes one ASIC machine to be plugged in again by somebody somewhere who has electricity to start the whole thing working. So it's over. The Bitcoin network can survive on one machine being plugged in to the power of the sun being plugged directly into the network. The difficulty adjustment will work in such a way that the blocks will still come in every 10 minutes. Those transactions are completely immutable. They happened. They were able to happen. There's no double spending, and nobody can shut that down. And I'm actually thinking about starting a series on the podcast just called Bitcoin Is, and going into all of these kind of deep philosophical kind of and energy related topics, and how it can't be shut down or attacked or made illegal. Sure, people say, "Oh, they'll just make it illegal." Go ahead. They made alcohol illegal. How did that work out? Anything, any government, any dictator, any totalitarian, any authoritarian, any force has ever tried to make illegal has always bloomed and blossomed, either under the table in a black market, call it whatever you will. Life will find a way, and if something adds value to human beings, that thing will spread, and that is what we're seeing with Bitcoin.